Hello guys, Joelster here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. And I gotta say, I am super excited for this video because I finally got my hands on the Steam Deck OLED. There are a ton of videos about the Steam Deck OLED, and of course they got me into buying one of these devices. And one of the main reasons that I wanted to test this device is because I do a lot of reviews on TVs, monitors, and of course I wanted to see this display because I review a lot of OLED TVs, and this little device has an OLED screen right here that supports HDR and can go up to 1000 nits of peak brightness. That is amazing. You know, even the C1 OLED that I have over there doesn't even go that much. So of course I wanted to test it to see what is this whole hype about. So welcome to the channel. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm Joelster, and let's do this. The One More Piston Buds Pro Q30 and the One More Fit Open Earbuds S30 are the newest additions to One More Headphones lineup. They offer up to 30 hours of battery life, IPX5 water resistant. Piston Buds Pro Q30 have spatial audio for a more cinematic experience, Bluetooth 5.3 for faster connectivity and low latency in game mode. The S30 open earbuds offer deeper bass and powerful sound. They are very comfortable to wear, and they have 4 microphones for noise-free phone calls, 30 hours of battery life, and also IPX5 waterproof for the ultimate protection against sweat, rain, or splash. And the best of all are the prices. The Fit S30 open earbuds, they sell for $55, while the Piston Buds Pro Q30, they sell for $40. So you're looking to buy a gift for yourself or maybe for someone else, these are excellent choices. So go check out the link in the description of the video for the latest price and more info. Joelster out. So first of all, I wanted to talk about the display. You have here 2 options. You have the glossy finish, and then you also have this, I always forget the name, etched glass display, which is the one that I purchased here. Now this is $649, and it also comes with a 1 terabyte of internal memory, but it has this etched glass display, which pretty much is like an anti-glare cover that it has right here on the screen. It's like a matte finish display on TVs that you see on TVs or in monitors. Personally, I do not like this. If I would have known that it was a matte finish display, I wouldn't have got, I would have saved money and just got the glossy finish, even though it has less memory. But here is the thing, like you can upgrade the memory to like, I've seen a lot of people upgrading the memory to like a 2 terabyte and just save that extra $100 and get the glossy finish. That's my suggestion to you. The reason being is because yes, this sort of rejects ambient light when you're playing this game, but at the cost of you don't get those deep black level colors that is distinguished from OLED, you know, and also the whole picture overall is not as sharp as you compare to a glossy finish OLED. For example, have you seen the Switch OLED? If you compare the Switch OLED to the Switch LCD display, you notice a big, huge improvement, right? Deep black levels, shiny glossy colors, and also the image, the picture looks sharper. Even though the games are running at the same resolution on the OLED, makes a huge difference just because it has this glossy finish. And of course, the OLED black levels makes a huge difference. So that's why I would just, if I can go return this and just get the glossy finish, I would do that. You know, I'm sticking with this. I'm not saying that it looks that bad, but based on my experience with the TVs that I have reviews, I always prefer the glossy finish. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about, this device supports HDR. Now, I'm very familiar with HDR. Also, there's so many HDR games on consoles that is just like natural for me, and start playing with HDR. You can actually change the settings in HDR settings in some games inside the settings on the games, or you can adjust HDR on the TV. It depends if your TV supports HDR, and also some TVs supports HDR-G or even Dolby Vision. Now, my problem with HDR here is that in some games, as soon as you launch the game, you don't get that HDR settings turned on. For example, Hellblade, let's turn it on and let's play a little bit of Hellblade. right here. I'm gonna show you how this looks when you turn it on. So here I am in the Hellblade menus, and if you press, for example, over here on the settings, you can go and look into the brightness, and normally you will see the HDR badge right here into the brightness levels, but over here you do not see it because it's not active just yet. So if you want to activate HDR, you're gonna have to go into options, and then right here we're gonna go into graphics, and then you have to go down here, and then you notice how HDR is turned off. You're gonna have to turn it on, apply chart changes, confirm and continue, and that's it. Now HDR is turned on. And look at that. Like, I mean, the highlights in HDR look amazing. It's also very dark. One thing I noticed is that it gets very, very dark in HDR. So let me see if I can get some highlights right here. But it gets beautiful contrast. I mean, HDR on this game makes the game look very dark, so you can make some adjustments here. So now you see that it has the HDR badge right here. So that's how you know when you have HDR activated. So I'm going to increase brightness because it does make the game very, very dark. Some instances you can't barely see, but the highlights is what makes the difference. Oh my god, this game looks amazing right here, and especially with HDR enabled. In some other games, HDR is simply not supported. For example, I have Shadow Warrior 2. This game, when it came out on PC, it was like the first game that supported HDR, but right here on the Steam Deck, that's not even possible. So for example, if I go into the options, the game settings, video, and then if I go down here, HDR, it says it's grayed out. HDR and HDR brightness, it's grayed out. I cannot select that HDR option right here in this game. Even though this game looks and runs fantastic on the Steam Deck and it's a lot of fun, but you can't play. I'm not using HDR, and I know that HDR in this game on PC looks great. Some great highlights, and it's has a lot of colorful scenes right here in this game. So this game, it's perfect with HDR. The problem is that I don't have that option here on the Steam Deck, even though there is support, but for some reason it's just not available. Now another problem that I encountered, that after I exit Hellblade, for example, and I turn on HDR and then I exit and I want to go back and play, sometimes it doesn't work. Like the screen is all black. It'll start and everything and you can hear the sound, but the screen just remains black. So let me try it right now. Hopefully it works. I'll tell you right now when it's going to start working. But that's it. That's where it stops. But you see the screen is just black, and I can actually see some squares like right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. And I can hear the sound. Like the game already started. But there's no picture. So if I go here, I know that HDR is active. Maybe if I increase the brightness. No, I think that's too much. And that's it. I don't get any gameplay, nothing. I can't see anything. So that is a problem that I have encountered right here. So I have to exit the game. And that's it. I can't play it. The only way I can get it back is if I uninstall the game and then reinstall it again, so HDR will reset. So hopefully in the future they add more HDR support, or at least make it a little bit easier to enjoy HDR, because I know it looks fantastic. It gets very bright and the highlights look excellent. So I will likely appreciate if makes it a little bit more easier, just like in consoles where you can just log into the game, or at least have that information which game does support HDR, and just turn it on automatically. That is something that I really wish they do that right here on the Steam Deck OLED. other than that, everything else what people talk about the Steam Deck, it's true. I mean, it's very, very easy to handle. It just fits perfectly in my hands. It's very comfortable, and the buttons are in just an excellent position. I mean, I have some other devices like this, the Ambernic. This is the Ambernic RG351M, which I can play retro games right here. And then I also have this other little device that plays retro games as well, but they're very small. But the Steam Deck is just huge compared to this little consoles over here, but it is very comfortable. So that is my experience so far with the Steam Deck OLED. I mean, overall, it's a beautiful device. It's very comfortable. It's lightweight. The battery performance is great, and the games do run amazingly good. I'm very surprised. But yeah, those little things are the ones that are bothering me. You know, first off is the screen. Just go for the glossy model. Save some money and go for the glossy model. And also, I wish that HDR gaming will be more like streamlined, kind of like console experience, that you just start the game and you know for sure that HDR is going to be there. That will be perfect. I would like to see that. But personally, I don't have a lot of games on Steam. I mean, I have a few, maybe like 5 or 6. I don't know. I don't have that many games on Steam. I noticed that most of my games are on my Xbox. I play a lot of Xbox and also on the PS5. So I think that for me, I think the ROG Ally will probably work better because I have a friend of mine and he purchased the ROG Ally and I help him set it up and everything. And it's just so easy to connect the Xbox and the Game Pass right there. In just a few minutes after setting up everything, I was already playing games from Game Pass. And you know, Game Pass has a ton of games, dozens of games. Plus you can play your games from your Xbox library, I believe. I don't know, I haven't had too much experience on that ROG Ally, but as soon as I started playing Game Pass games, I was sold on that because I do have Game Pass and there are so many games available right there. So a lot of games that I already own, I have to rebuy them here on Steam, and I just don't feel like I want to rebuy them. Why would I spend extra money where I can get them on Game Pass already? Or most of the times I already own those games. So I feel like for me, probably the ROG Ally will work better, even though a lot of people complain about like the operating system on Windows is not designed for that. Like I used it and it worked perfectly fine, you know. So yes, this device is beautiful and I'm going to keep it. But if you have to think about where you have more games. On Steam, this is perfect for you. But if you're like me, that you are more into the Xbox library and most of your games are on Xbox, probably the ROG Ally, or what's the other device? The Legion Go. Those are probably going to work better for you because you can play your Game Pass games right over there. So that's it on my review on the Steam Deck OLED. It's an honest review. Hope you like it. If you're not, let me know in the comments below. What is your opinion? What is your experience on the Steam Deck OLED? And yeah, we'll just go from there. All right. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I am Joelster, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Joelster out.